Ninth grade edition. If your kid is in the ninth grade and you know you want to send them to college, you know they have aspirations to go to a particular school, study a particular field of study, you know they want to be a doctor, you know they want to be a teacher, whatever, right? You know you're planning to send them to college. Here are four things that you absolutely positively need to be doing to ensure that them going to college is going to be the best post-high school financial investment for them and their future. College is sometimes considered to be a scam by a lot of people because of the financial implications. If it were not so heavy financially, no one would argue it. No one would have much to say. Everybody would think that it's an amazing idea. And it's still an amazing idea, but it becomes an even better idea when you do it the right way. Okay? So here's what you need to be doing if you are a parent of a ninth grader and you know you want them to go to college, or perhaps they don't know what they want to do. Do this anyway. Okay, do this anyway because you got a little bit of time, but not that much. Four things that I want you to do. Okay, I want you to encourage them. I mean, paramount, more than anything else that they are involved with, anything else that makes your heart jump, that makes it warm about who they are and what they do. More than that thing is I want you to encourage them, position them, not even just encourage. I want you to position them to excel academically. They have to perform well in the classroom. Have to perform well in the classroom. We live in a society where that's just the standard, okay? This is not a testament to anyone's morality or character or skill set or anything. It's just academics. But because you're planning for them to go to college, it's high on the totem pole. It's high to, it's something that's strongly considered by institutions. Now, as far as acceptance goes, most colleges and universities have their own desired GPA or academic standard that they want their incoming students to have. But more importantly, you will, or in time, your child will qualify for merit-based or academic scholarships, right? So the higher the GPA that they have, the more they will be able to qualify for debt-free funds, right? Merit-based scholarships are not the only ones, but they're usually the most abundant, right? And the reason why they are the most abundant is because most students can't qualify for them, right? And so you set yourself apart when your child sets themselves apart when they have a higher GPA, cumulative GPA, right? When they have a higher cumulative GPA, it sets them apart because it puts them in a category where they're just different. Again, this is not a testament to anyone's character or morality or anything of that nature. This is just the educational standard. Academics is what is is what's emphasized. Okay, we can figure the rest of the stuff out later at another time. But if it were my kid, when my kids get to high school, I mean, all throughout their academic, even now, like there's something that we emphasize. But I want you to encourage and position, not just encourage, but do whatever it takes to help your children excel academically. They can't do anything without it. They can't do anything without it. Okay, at the very bare minimum, even if they just barely scrape by, right? Even if they just barely scrape by, right? You are lowering your chances into getting into schools that are going to give you different options, or multiple schools that will give you different options. So you're bonding yourself, right, to a certain amount of schools that may or may not be within your financial ability. So the higher you perform academically, the greater the probability you have of going to a college, as well as getting funding, merit-based funding, that will help pay for your degree. So we want to give ourselves options, right? The lower we perform academically, the less options we have. Now, there's definitely a school for you, right? Maybe, you had a rough couple years in high school. Your kid had a rough couple years in high school academically. We can still turn it around. We can still work out a plan to get them to a school and go debt free. I've seen it happen. I know how to do it, right? But the higher you perform academically, the more options you have. And so you don't want to stifle your kid, right? Your kid doesn't want to be stifled in the decision making. They don't want to be forced to a place, right? I want them to be able to make a choice, all right? So that's number one. Do whatever it takes, parents. If you got to take their phone, okay? I don't believe in this new age parenting stuff, okay? I was raised by boomers, okay? Do what I say, and that's just what it is, okay? We can talk about that another day, all right? Do whatever it takes so that they can excel academically. Maybe you have to put parameters around their social life until they get a hold of it, right? Maybe you need to hire a tutor. Maybe you need to position them to be able to get extra help. Do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes. Do not make the mistake of thinking that they're just going to get better. They very well may just get better, but that's not a plan. That's not something that you plan for. That's something you pray for, but that's not something that you plan for, right? When I say plan for it, I mean strategy in place so that you can calculate when the progress will come. So maybe they do need to stop playing football. Maybe they don't need to try. If they've never played basketball and this is their very first time in high school, I probably wouldn't put my kid in basketball. Just being a former athlete, just probably wouldn't do it. It's probably not their thing, and that's okay. That's okay. All right? That's perfectly okay. That's not a testament to your value or your worth or anything of that nature, okay? Make sure that they are handling their business academically, even if they are a star even if they are the next Michael Jordan, even if they are. Even if they are the next Michael Jordan, if they can't pass, they can't play. Plain and simple. I play Division I sports. There's not one single coach on a collegiate level that's going to sacrifice your scholarship or your opportunity or your kid's scholarship or your kid's opportunity to play on their team for their job. It's illegal. They can't do it. If they can't pass, they can't play. So this is why academics needs to be first. Now, in addition to that, my second thing is once the academic piece is squared away, once they're solid in that, you then want to begin to build their resume, what I call resume builders. Get them involved with things that are extracurricular, community service, organizations. Maybe they're playing a sport. Maybe they joined a club. Maybe they started their own club, right? Whatever it is, something that's going to build their resume. Now, this is twofold. One, it's attractive to scholarship organizations as well as colleges and universities. But number two, it's really, really good for them because it gives them exposure, right? Everybody on the inside of them has the ability to have a spark be lit, right? Has the ability to produce fire, right? Some people produce fire or do great things. Sorry for the analogy if you don't understand it. Do great things in different areas of their life, right? But everybody needs that spark to be lit. So you want them to be having different experiences so that spark inside of them can be lit. And sooner or later, everyone will be trying to figure out what in the world is burning, y'all. You got to have something that will light that spark. Get them involved with different things, right? As long as it's not impeding on their academics, get them involved with different things. Community service, something in your local place of worship. If you go to church, synagogue, mosque, whatever, anything like that is really, really good because it will begin to light their heart up. All right, number 3 is the least favorite, but it's the most important, y'all. It's the least favorite, but it's the most important. I need you, the parent, to start putting your money where your mouth is, okay? This is a financial investment for the future. Don't expect someone else to invest in your baby and you're not willing to invest in your baby. Plain and simple. If you can do $84 a month at the end of the year or about 12 months, you'll have around $1,000, a little bit over $1,000, right? If you can do more than $84, do more. If you can do, I don't know, whatever's feasible for your budget, put money aside, okay? I would suggest that you open up some sort of investment account. You can do a 529, you can do a UGMA, you can do a UTMA, you can do a Coverdell account. There are many different options that are going to give you some exponential, some larger growth on those funds that you're saving. Okay, so put it in an account, especially if you have time. Let that thing grow. There are families that I'm working with, and I won't divulge the specific numbers, but because they did this, right, they've got a pretty hefty start. I would say a pretty hefty start. I'll put it to you like this: if I had what some of the families that I'm working with if I had what some of the families that I'm working with have for their children, my degree would have been completely paid for. I wouldn't have to apply for no scholarships or nothing. Okay? Now, there's strategy that goes into that. But the point number 3 is that I want you to begin to start saving money as much as you can that doesn't impede on your lifestyle or your livelihood. Make a sacrifice if you have to. Stop Starbucks for a couple of months if you have to. Work some extra hours if you have to. Don't go crazy, okay? Don't make all your hair turn gray. But I want you to start saving some money. The last thing is probably the most important for the child. Third thing is the most important for the parent. But the fourth thing is the most important for the child, y'all. We have to do our due diligence for our children or with our children in helping them to connect the dots as to the reason why post-high school options are important, specifically college, okay? In my opinion, in my expertise, really, all post-high school options, every single post-high school option, you must consider the financial implications of what this option will do for you. If it's the military, what is it going to cost you and what is it going to do for you? If it's college, what is it going to cost you? What is it going to do for you? If it's a trade or technical college, what is it going to cost you? What is it going to do for you? Not just now, but in the long run, right? With all three. If you're going to just get a job, right? What is it going to, not just get a job, but if you're not going to do any of those others and get a job, what is it going to cost you to get that job? And what is it going to do for you in the long run? Because we have to have our children start thinking about the rest of their life, right? They're going to be adults for far longer, in theory, than they were children. They're going to have to take care of themselves for far longer than they were being taken care of in most cases, right? And so we have to help them make the connections. If you're watching me, you're an amazing parent and you've done your due diligence. Chances are your kid probably has no idea what's about to happen or what's about to change in their life. And that's okay. That's normal. This is why we have to do our due diligence on the front end. You're a great parent. They trust you. They should. They depend on you. They should. But we have to simultaneously prepare them to be able to stand on their own 2 feet. Here's what I call the cost of living exercise. This is what you do. I want you to ask your kid, what type of lifestyle do you want to live after graduation, whether it be high school or college? Ask them what type of lifestyle do they want to live, whether it be high school or college after they graduate. How do they want to live? Where do they want to live? Where do they want to work? How much money do they want to make? What type of house do they want to live in? What city do they want to live in? Do they want to travel? Do they want to get married? Do they want to have children? Do they want to own a home? Do they want to rent a home? Have them write it out. It's called the cost of living exercise, right? I want them to be able to see what their life is going to be, and then I want you to run the numbers, right? I'm in Baltimore, Maryland, right? But let's say my oldest son doesn't want to live in Baltimore, Maryland. He wants to move with his auntie and uncle in Oakland, California. Oakland, California is way different than Baltimore, Maryland, okay? Financially, right? And so I need him to understand what it's going to take for him to live there or to have what he wants, right? Too often we just expect our kids to just know what they want and have everything all, lined up. It doesn't work like that. It's done with strategy. So ask them what type of lifestyle they want to live. Have them run the numbers, okay? Have them run the numbers. They want to drive a Benz? Okay. What type of Benz? How much does it cost? What's the monthly payments on there? How are you going to pay for it? Where's the money coming from? What type of job do you want to have? What's the median salary or what's the average salary, right? How much is that going to give you a month after taxes, right? Excuse me. They need to know these things so they're not caught by surprise and don't feel like they got the bad end of the bargain. No, give them a good end of the bargain, okay? I want you to give them the information to be empowered to make an informed decision, y'all. So have them do this exercise. They're going to hate it. But I promise you, in the long run, it will be so good for them. So just a quick recap, because I'm done. I want you to do these 4 things, especially if your kids are 9th graders, okay? I want you to heavily, more than anything, focus on the academic progress and success of your kid. Okay, and this is the same thing when kids go to college as well, right? The earlier you are in your academic career, the easier it is in most cases. And I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm saying that as you progress through your high school career and as you progress through your college career, it's going to get more challenging academically. So you want to have some wiggle room when the stuff gets more challenging. So I want you to shoot for straight A's as much as you can. Shoot for straight A's, especially early on, okay? Strive academically to get the best GPA that you can possibly get. Start really high so that you'll have wiggle room on the back end if things get challenging or if things happen in your life that cause you to, slip a little bit. It's okay. It happens. It's life, right? Now, parents, if your kids are struggling academically, that's okay. There are many innumerable resources for them to be able to succeed academically. But don't take it lightly. Make it a priority. Okay? I want you to be checking up on their homework. Yes, they're 14. Yes, they're coming into young adulthood, but they ain't grown. Okay? Don't treat them like they're grown. Okay? Treat them like a little baby. And when I say that, I mean reinforce what you are expecting of them. I'm not saying you got to micromanage them, right? I don't necessarily believe in that, but they need to be held accountable, right? They may not have or be comfortable with coming to you and saying that they're struggling, okay? I want you to do your due diligence. I want you to check in with the teachers. I want you to have the conferences. I want you to ask questions as to what needs to be done. Take this bull by the horns because it will pay for them dividends on the back end. Every single student that I work with that has a really high GPA goes to school for free. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Why? Because they can use this to their advantage. Don't take it lightly. Don't think you have time to catch up. Don't play catch up. Get ahead of it, okay? The second thing is build that resume. Once you've got the academics locked down, have them get involved with things that are going to be attractive to scholarship organizations and colleges and universities so that they can be more attractive and be able to negotiate when the time comes, right? Simultaneously, it's going to begin to spark their interest. They're going to be able to say, no, I don't like that. I don't want to spend my time there. Or I want to learn a little bit more about this thing that I was just involved with. This really, really lights my fire. This really, really makes my heart warm, and I want to help people, right? Get them involved with things that are going to build their resume. Number 3, the least favorite but the most important, parents. Start saving money. Start saving money. Start strategically saving money, putting it aside in an account that's going to grow so that you can have a head start when it's time to pay for school. Do not make the mistake of expecting someone else to invest in your baby and you are unwilling to do so for your own child, okay? And the fourth most important thing for the student's perspective is to do the cost of living exercise, okay? Ask them what type of lifestyle do they want to live post-graduation, whether it be high school or college. Where do they want to live? Where do they want to work? How much do they want to make? How do they want to travel? How do they want to own, rather? Do they want to rent? All of those things. Where do they want to live? And have them write down the number so that they can have a target to hit, right? Because what they expect may be unrealistic for an 18-year-old or a 22-year-old fresh out of college with no money. Maybe, and you know what? Here, let me give you some more context too, because I do this with the students that I mentor, right? I won't say her name, but shout out to one of my mentees. I did this exact same thing with her as she was getting ready to graduate college. And I was asking her, you know, she actually moved out of state. She's in a different state and she's working. She's doing well, right? And then we got to the piece about her lifestyle as it pertains to what she wants to drive. And I'm like, what you thinking about what she want to drive? She's talking about some luxury. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's run some numbers. And after she saw those numbers, she's like, yeah, I don't know about luxury right now. Why? Because it's not a good financial decision. It's going to take away from the long run, the things that I want in the long run. You can start with you a good, nice, solid Toyota. Nothing wrong with it. And some of these Toyotas look luxury anyway. You can start with you a good Hyundai, a good Honda. You can start with you something that's real good. Maybe it's a little A to B. Maybe your finances only, allow you to get a little A to B or a little bucket, right? Something that's going to keep you safe, get you where you need to go. You can't drive across country, but you can get where you got to go. You can get to where you can get home, you can go out on the weekends, whatever, right? The point is, I need our babies to have an expectation of reality. Give them a little taste of what reality is. It don't just happen. It don't just happen. Okay, social media ain't going to tell them the truth. Okay, the media ain't going to tell them the truth. Ain't nobody going to give them this real raw information. So have them do it. Carve out time to do this exercise, y'all. It'll change the game. It'll change the game. Every time I talk to the young lady now that I mentor and we talk about this and when this comes up, she's so grateful for it. Not because of me, but because she was able to make an informed decision, y'all. Don't let life catch your kid by surprise. My name is Jordan Green-Ellis. I'm your debt-free degree coach. We talked all today about what you should be doing with your ninth grader to prepare them for college so that they can graduate debt-free. If you want more information like this, I want to encourage you to download my free ebook. It's called the 15 Parenting Pitfalls in College Prep that ultimately leave your kid drowning in student loan debt. If you want to get a copy of it, it's completely free. You can click that link right there in the comments, or if you're watching this on the replay, you can comment the word me and I'll send it directly to you, okay? Do not let life catch your kids by surprise. Jump ahead of it, get the bull by the horns, and do what you need to do so that your kids can experience a life that's worth living, y'all. We got to prepare for it, because if we don't prepare, we may accidentally become failures. My name is Jordan Green-Ellis. I'm signing out, but you already know. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your day. Y'all be easy.